all you collector car fans out there. This is Jason, the owner and founder of Southern Bush Motorsports. Well, this is a really cool Tales from the Bush, I think. So I made a run way up north. I'm talking Yukon Territories, Nunavut. I was way up there. I know what that is. That's a 426 Hemi motor. But what this whole Tales from the Bush is can all of you please help me out to identify some of these older cars? Because I've had these pictures stored on a hard drive for a long time, and I never included them because they weren't cool cars. They weren't Camaros, and they weren't Hemi cars, and they weren't Chargers and Plymouths and AMX and that. They were just some weird oddball cars. But can y'all help out with the comments on what these cars are? Because holy good God, there were so many of them out there, and I had no idea what these cars were, but they were so cool. Like that big red car. I sat in that thing. That thing was so cool. It had all bells and whistles. That thing right there, that had a weird motor in it. It was like a Hemi crossover or crossfire. Like, what was that thing? Like, I know, sorry for being so ignorant, because I know the popular cars, the Chevelles, Camaros, Chargers, and all that stuff, but I'd really like to get to know these old weird cars, older cars. Not weird, but look at these cars, man. Like, I sat in that car right there. That thing had every bell and whistle you can imagine. I'm pretty sure it was from the 50s. And collectors, this is also where we help out the future generations, because, who's going to see this in 10, 20 years? It might help them out, but some of these cars are, like, super cool. Like, look at that tire on the back. And the craziest thing is, all these cars that I found, because up north, they don't use salt on the roads, because it's no point. Salt is ineffective after minus 10 degrees. And where I was, trust me, it was minus 10 degrees plus all year round. I know that's a Charger there. But good God, what is that thing right there? I mean, it's just, I don't even know what to say. Some of these cars are just mind-blowing. And when I'm saying mind-blowing, I'm surprised some of these cars never caught on or became more popular, because some of these old cars that I sat in had so many, like that car right there. I know that thing's from the 30s, and it was like really old, and it stunk. But to sit in that car was so bloody cool. It had so many cool things in it. This car right here, I think that says Dodge, but this thing had so many bells and whistles and switches and turns, and good God, man. That car right there is pretty fun too. You can see I had the window down in that car to air it out a little bit, but man, that car was cool. And there's so much space inside there. You could live inside these cars. This car right here, I think it was like an amphibious car or something like that, but the guy said it was a super rare car. I don't know. I know that's like a 67 Charger right there. That was actually a Hemi car right there. The Hemi motor that I showed in the very beginning was the one that went in that car. He had it built. But he had, one of the places I went to, this guy had some side buildings that he had built with these cool restored old cars, but I have no idea what I'm looking at. I don't even know what that's from. That looks like from a more modern car. Might have made a mistake putting that one in there. Okay, I know that's like a Corvair convertible that's been sitting forever. So it seems like I'm so excited, but like I've really been wanting to do this one for a while, and I think that was, I don't know what that was. I'd really like people in the comments to identify some of these cars, because they were like wicked cool cars. I just didn't know what I was looking at. Like, I took pictures of it because I was out there, but I really didn't know what I was looking at. This right here is Nunavut, Canada, way up north, like way up north. Still a beautiful place, but they kept these old cars up there. I don't remember what that engine compartment was from right there. Just so many super cool cars. I wish I was more knowledgeable with the older stuff. This one right here, look at that, completely unrestored convertible. A little rough, but look at those white walls. Those were all original stuff. It's some weird barge plants. Like, it's so hard dealing with this stuff, these old situations that I get into where these guys have stuck these cars away, and I thought those were cool. I think those were Hemi heads, but they didn't look like Hemi heads off like a Dodge. Like, it was weird. So my knowledge is, I'm not going to say I know everything, because I'm telling you right now, I don't know everything, especially when I'm asking for help on what the heck these cars are. But there were so many of these old cool cars that people had stuck in the back there, and stuck into buildings and stuff. And like, you gotta remember, I'm way, way up north. I am way up, like, Yukon territory, Nunavut, and these guys save these old cars. So any of you guys that can help out, name in the comments, maybe help out future generations on what we're looking at, like, what is that thing? That thing was so cool. And like I said before, looks like the hood's been changed on that, but these cars were so bloody solid. You're talking 60, 70-year-old cars, completely untouched, unrestored. Obviously, nobody bothered to restore these cars because they weren't like cool cars. That almost looks like a Hemi engine right there, but it's got caps over the covers there. Well, I know what that is. That's a 68 Charger. Super solid, super untouched. Pretty sure that says RT on the front right there. But yeah, there was just some cool cars up there. I mean, look at this car. That's that Cross Ram intake, I think. It's got the 2 air cleaners on it. Super solid car. Nothing wrong with that car. Oh, this building right here was scary. So many old cars in this building. All bird crap all over them. Completely untouched. Buried in plastic. Look at that thing right there. That thing looks like brand new. Never been touched. Gosh, I wish I knew more about these cars. Look at that thing right there. That thing was super solid. When I sat inside that car, I swear to God, that car smelled like it was brand new. It was funny because the people way up north there, they... Look at that thing. That thing was really cool because I could tell it was a completely untouched, unrestored car, and it was totally complete. Oh, there's that one I showed you before beside that Charger. Man, there's so many cool cars up here. The thing that people don't know is that cars like this way up, oh, look at that, I think that says GTX. Cars up here are way up north. People didn't scrap out for scrap money. Lord only knows what that is. People up north didn't scrap out for scrap money because a lot of metal was coming from up there. So, I mean, scrapping a car was no big deal. Look at that thing right there, man. Boy, that thing looks like badass. Like I said, I wish my knowledge was a little bit more wide so I would know what I'm looking at. I think that's like a DeSoto convertible. I know some of these pictures are horrible, but it's like, it is what it is. I was way up north. There's a field of cars. Looks like a bunch of Chevelles and stuff. I definitely had an exciting career, and I won't complain about the time that I spent out in the field and stuff, taking pictures of cars like this, because I knew one day that I'd be sitting here doing this. And I'm very glad to be able to do this. It's a little hard to keep my head up, but, I'm going to keep doing it. Look at that thing, just sitting there, all perfect, unrestored, just perfect. So let's get these comments in there and, let everybody know what these cars are. What's that thing hanging out the back of that car? Well, a little rough, but it looked like somebody made some sort of a street racer or a street rod out of that thing. This was a really cool building. This guy had this building. It's almost like a storage building, I think, but he had some really cool cars in that building, just stuffed in there. What in the world is that thing? I mean, pretty sweet looking car, streamlined. Looked like you could put a big motor in that thing and just run them hard. I think that thing's a Valiant or something like that. Look at that black lacquer paint. Just you fire a bullet at that paint and it wouldn't go through it. Oh, look at all the parts hanging around on there. I think that was an old pickup truck. 2 pickup trucks sitting beside each other. I don't know. I don't remember what those are, but just look at this stuff piled on top of each other. Oh yeah, look at that beauty. Oh man, I'd love to drive that car. Look at all those carburetors on that thing. Woo! Oh, good God, I wish I knew what these cars were, That one looks a little rough, but look at that front end. That front end just says, get out of my way. I don't know what that is. Looks like that one there seen better days. Let's see what we got next here. I load these pictures up, I don't know what I'm looking at. What is that thing? That looks like the Chevrolet symbol in front of that thing. Boy, what a sleek looking car, man. Wow. Super fly. Look at that black paint. Oh man, that car looks solid. That thing looks like it would kill on the road. Oh yeah, I remember going into this place. Every car was the exact same rust, pretty much complete, but just rough. Yeah, I remember that. That place right there took me a long time to go through, man. There were so many cars there, but the guy was smart enough to keep them. I spent the time to go through them. That car was really weird because I'd never seen anything like that before. Again, if any of you guys know what these cars are, please let me know in the comments because that was crazy. This car right here, again, I don't even know what that is, but good God, that was a beautiful car. That was definitely a restored car. Look at the interior in that thing. Man, I'd love to drive around in that car, man. That'd be so cool. That'd be so awesome driving around in that car. Boy, I'd love to be cruising down the streets in that car right there. And there's that big old soda again. Well, I appreciate you coming by and checking out our Tales from the Bush. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and any contribution you can make to the Patreon page is muchly appreciated.